You have your ear protection between the seats right there. There's some earmuffs up front for you.
Oh.
Got that covered.
You got it?
No, there's a few.
WG962 Airboat 1 Airboat Base. Kilo cover 2 groups of leaving. All of these objects, these are all duck hunting blinds. It's a public area. Anyone can come here and hunt as long as the duck blinds are 100 yards apart. We have 60 days of duck season in South Louisiana during our normal duck season in the months of November, December, and January. And the limit is 6 ducks per day per person. And on a good year, if you can call good enough and shoot good enough, a couple of hours, you should be through your limit for that day. We had a fair season this past year. My son and I killed about 300 birds here. Pretty good. The area, this is known as Faussy Point, F-A-U-S-S-E, and it means false point in French. If you steal the water from the northern end and run it from point to the southern end here, you can steal the water for about 15 miles. There's 60 square miles of deep water lake, shallow water lake, cypress swamps, and willow swamps. We're going to cover some of the middle third of it. This was once part of a larger area called the Atchafalaya Basin, and it was part of the basin until the Corps of Engineers started building levees for flood control. It cut off this area from the main part of the basin to our east, going farther back in geological time. Soil samples here indicate that this was once a channel of the Mississippi River, occurred about 1900 BC. So a little bit about the area. The reason why we use airboats here, shallow water and vegetation. We're in about 8 inches of water now, it's about normal. And the vegetation was all killed by Tropical Storm Allison that passed through here in June. We put about 3 feet of water in here for about 3 weeks, and it just wiped out all the vegetation. These shallow water lakes at times will be solid vegetation. Birds here. Large blue one we saw back there was the great blue heron. The large white one that you see, that'll be the great egret. The smaller white one will be the snowy egret. The small blue one is a little blue heron. We have yellow crowned night heron, tricolored heron, and greenback heron, ibis, osprey, and eagle. The animals that inhabit the system: beaver, mink, nutria, otters, raccoon, white-tailed deer, snakes, turtles, and alligators. We'll try to find some of those for you on the trip today. The fish that you're going to see jumping, those are mullet that come on these shallow water flats and feed. Just watch off in the distance, you see them jump. Normally they'll jump about 2 or 3 times. They're jumping over here on your right, look, right there. As I go along, I'll be pointing, so watch where I point. There'll be something there. And if you have any questions, please ask. I have a lot of answers. They may not all be true, but I'll give you an answer. Any questions?
This is fresh water.
This is fresh water. We connect to the Gulf about 30 miles south of here. We're so far north, we don't get any salt water.
But when the storm came in, did it make it salty then?
It might have made it brackish on the southern end, but not this far up. We had so much rain that it kept it flushed out.
How deep did you say this water?
About 8 inches right here.
Wow!
Okay. Any questions? you can see why we use airboats here. Find fudge in the mud.
God.
Now here on the left, it's a platform or a drilling rig. It's too shallow for the oil companies to float a barge drilling rig into this area, like they'll do in the inland bays in the Gulf of Mexico. So the oil company has to dig a channel, come and drive this platform. They'll take a land drilling rig and put that on a barge and barge it out here through the channel. Take a crane and put the land drilling rig sitting on the wooden platform. And that's the method used for searching oil and natural gas in these shallow water lakes. A land drilling rig sitting on a wooden platform is basically a wooden island. On your right, you'll notice the cabins and camps on the lake shore. It's called Bird Island here. By this green camp, there's a bayou going across from the front to the backwaters called Bird Island Bayou. That's the designated camping area for this system. There's about 160 camps in there. You have to lease land to the state of Louisiana to be able to build here. And the lease is very much, very low in fact, goes by $250 a year for 100 by 100 lot. There's no roads that come into the area. All of that's brought in by a boat that's assembled on site. And out of the 60 square miles, there's only 2 people who live here full time. So it's quite a large area with not many people in it. Now on the weekends, whenever the hunting and fishing is good, there's a lot of recreation here. We're going to take a man-made pipeline and hit what's called Pool Slough to get to the back area. Any questions? Measure an alligator when you can't see the whole length of the body. You draw a line from the tip of the nose to the eyes, and you convert that line in inches into body length in feet. There's at least 4 inches there, so that alligator is about 4 feet long, maybe 5. And that also means about 4 or 5 years old, because they'll grow about 1 foot per year in the wild until they reach about 8 feet long, and they start growing less per year. The largest one I've seen here is about 15 feet long. The largest ever recorded here, 19 feet 3 inches. The boat is 18 feet. You don't get to sneak up on a big one like that very often. Now, all the floating seed on top is called duckweed and drill. Any questions? We having fun yet?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Go around him again.
Well, we're gonna try to. About 5 or 6 of them there, probably a whole family. Watch one from them get ready to climb over the log. Right here.
Cool.
Anybody want to jump out and see how deep it is?
I don't think so.
that tree about in the middle.
Oh yeah.
See the silhouette of it?
Yeah, I see it.
About 4 foot. Now that's well hidden in there. Now when you pass him, that's going to be your shot with the sun shining on him.
Right. Yeah.
Right there, that's your shot right there.
Got him.
Alligator, look on the island right here. Another one in the water on the right. There's another one on the front right. See it over here? They're all over today. I want to go swimming?
No.
Now, most of these trees in here are like these are willow trees. We're going into a willow swamp. I've been seeing a lot of small alligators in here, so keep your eyes open. If you don't have any questions, most of those birds were ibis back here. No questions? A couple of pink birds in there, roseate spoonbill. Here on the left.
Oh, that's a whole herd.
You'll notice some small ones in there. Those are about 3 months old. There's one still on the island back here. What the female alligator does, she'll come in here on a ridge and pile up the grass, the twigs and leaves and moss and mix that up with mud and make a mound about 1.5 feet high by 3 feet in diameter. She'll dig a hole in the center of it and lay about 40 to 60 eggs. She covers it with the same debris. As that stuff rots, it puts out heat and it incubates the eggs in about 60 days. The sex of the alligator is determined by the incubation temperature. 90 and above is all male, 87 and below is all female. Any questions? We having fun yet?
Oh, yeah.
Now here, unlike the willow swamp that we passed through earlier, we're running the edge of a cypress swamp here. These are all cypress trees. They're called bald cypress, and that's the state tree of Louisiana, the bald cypress. The larger one here on the left, that's over 200 years old. And like many old trees, they'll die from the inside out. And because they're rotting and hollow on the inside, whenever storms pass through here, you'll notice I clip the top off these trees, make them bald-headed. That's where the term bald cypress comes from, because there's nothing on top. Now the pointed objects on the base here, those are cypress knees, and that's coming off the roots of the tree. It's part of the breathing system of the tree. The gray stuff, that's Spanish moss. Not a parasite. It's not living on that tree. It's an air plant. Spanish moss survives by drawing its nutrients out of the air. Remember the pineapple plant, Bromeliaceae family. The early Acadians here had a couple of uses for Spanish moss. When making mattresses and pillows, the stuffing used was Spanish moss. That was also mixed with clay, used in the walls of homes and insulation at a time, called bustial. This is my favorite area.
How do you know your way around? I mean, I'm so twisted.
I'm always lost.
Oh, okay.
Just keep correcting until I get back.
Well, I mean, I'm just
I've been in here for about 45 years. I started hunting on my own here since I've been about 9 years old. My family's been hunting, fishing, and trapping here for about 100 years.
Oh, okay. So you're...
I haven't seen any
I don't think
snakes,
it's
but they
Very few. Too many alligators. Alligators eating all the
they
snakes.
get the snakes.
That last blind.
Oh, we seeing any ducks?
There's no feed here to hold them. The storm wiped out all the feed. All they do is pass through and they go wherever the feed's at.
Oh, I see. Where do you get bigger ducks in here too?
Oh yeah, in fact, I picked up my decoys at that blind this morning because I have some early tours the rest of the week. I'm not going to be able to hunt. Yesterday, on an 11 o'clock tour, there was a pintail hen in the decoys, and yesterday afternoon, there were 2 gadwall in the decoys when I passed. So the big ducks are starting to come in. I saw a drove of big ducks this morning. I don't know what they were. The teal hadn't been good. Just the front that passed Sunday night and Monday, it started to bring some ducks through. But they're not going to stay here. This back lake should be full of vegetation, and it'll hold them here. But that's all gone because of the storm.
How long will it take to come back?
Next year.
They'll be back next year. Well, they dive underneath the little snails, you know, at least mallards do.
The teal will do the same thing too. They get in that shallow water back there, and when we have lotus and a lot of grass, it'll hold those snails. But the water was 3 feet back. Look at a black mark on the tree.
Oh, yeah?
Tropical storm out and stayed there for 3 weeks. And then the wave action just wiped out everything.
Forevermore. See, I never would have noticed that.
Anything else? Top of that tree. See it right here?
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Remember the eagle family, osprey right there.